A local artist says amid the protests across this country, he's never been more inspired to paint. Rilwan Balogan has that story.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
I'm inspired by the fact that this might actually be a moment where we do take that stride.
Spencer Schultz taught himself how to paint 7 years ago.
I try and reserve it for the nights, but just about every day, yeah.
He first started with portraits of his favorite authors and his closest friends. Then he moved on to architecture. He says now he's more inspired than ever.
I really kind of put my heart and soul into it.
A lawyer by day, Schultz says watching and participating in protests across New Orleans pushes him to document it on canvas.
Go to these protests and you see people of all ages, all colors, men and women, the LGBTQ community, and it feels like we are really binding together.
He's completed 2 pieces and working on a third. He says it's odd to see groups together not celebrating New Orleans traditions, but instead asking for justice, peace, and equality.
You look at this crowd and it's like you'd usually see for like a second line or like a Mardi Gras parade or something like that, but it just felt so different.
His current piece is from earlier this month when he and other demonstrators walked down Poydras and onto the I-10 expressway.
And I'm looking out and I'm just that this feels different. You know, this is not the reason why we're typically in the streets together. And this feels like a real change in our society.
Change, he says, he can see and feel other protesters want. He wants to convey it in his work.
You know, there is anger, there's an element of anger underneath it all, but people are conducting themselves with grace and composure.
Rilwan Balogan, Fox 8, Local First.
Schultz is teaming up with Where You Art to make some prints. He says any proceeds he makes, he will donate.